Hello, I'm Riley Rooney, a planner at the City of Minnetonka. If you have any questions after viewing this presentation, please feel free to contact me by phone or email as noted on the slide before you. This is the staff presentation for the Madson Residence Conditional Use Permit and Variance application. For this project, staff recommends that the Planning Commission recommend the City Council adopt the resolution denying the conditional use permit with a rear yard setback variance for the construction of a garage with a second-story accessory dwelling unit at 13131 Minnetonka Drive. Our recommendation to deny the request requires 5 affirmative votes from planning commissioners. This item will be placed on the regular meeting agenda. The subject property is located south of Minnetonka Boulevard and east of Baker Road. The .88 acre property consists of a single-family home constructed in 1890, accessory shed, and a detached 2-stall garage. The house sits on a corner property along both Minnetonka Drive and Elm Lane. The property is relatively flat with its lowest elevation at the corner of Elm Lane and Minnetonka Drive. The applicant is proposing to construct an 1,874 square foot structure with a first floor, 3-car garage, and second-story ADU to the southeast of the existing home. It's also shown here. The existing garage, which is shown in green, is proposed to be removed during the construction, with the shed, colored in orange, to remain on site. Additionally, the next slide shows the existing driveway, which is shown in green, and the proposed driveway as shown in red. The green driveway is to be removed with the construction, where the new driveway is put in. This is a full scope look at what's proposed to be done. So again, this is the driveway that is existing that will be removed, the new driveway to be installed with the parking area, then ADU, the existing house, the shed to remain, and some intentional landscaping and tree buffering areas in the pink and green, as well as a paved patio area to the southeast of the existing house. Detached accessory dwelling units are required to maintain a minimum setback of at least 15 feet or the code-defined height of an ADU. The proposed height of the ADU is 17.5 feet. Therefore, the required setback from the rear property line is 17.5 feet. The proposed setback is 15 feet, and therefore a variance is necessary. In addition, City Code limits accessory dwelling units to have a maximum size of 1,000 square feet or 35% of the floor area of the principal dwelling or the home, whichever is less. In this case, 35% of the principal structure's total floor area equals 992.6 square feet, which establishes the minimum allowable size. So in this case, instead of 1,000 square feet being the maximum, it is 992.6. The City Council has final authority to approve a larger ADU through the CUP process if it determines that the increased size will not create undue adverse impacts on neighboring properties. To focus on the variance requirements first, I'll note that the city may approve a variance from City Code requirements if it meets all the variance standards listed below. In this case, the only variance request is to the rear yard setback. Based on the standards, the proposal aligns with the intent of the zoning ordinance, which aims to maintain consistent building lines and adequate spacing between structures. The proposed ADU would be set back from neighboring properties about 114 feet to the southeast and 130 feet to the southwest. Directly east, it borders a church parking lot rather than a residence, with the church building roughly 226 feet away. Additionally, the ADU would sit 7 feet further from the rear yard property line than the existing garage, improving the current setback condition. The proposal is consistent with a comprehensive plan by maintaining and improving the existing neighborhood. When it comes to the practical difficulties on site, the proposal, however, does not meet all the required standards. While the proposal is reasonable, as it increases the rear yard setback compared to the existing conditions, and allows more space in the front yard for screening and buffering, and the proposal is consistent with the single-family character of the area. The property lacks unique constraints. The ADU could be placed closer to the front property line and still meet the required setbacks, making the variance in this circumstance unnecessary. When focusing on the conditional use permit requirements, the city may, again, approve a larger ADU through a CUP if no undue impacts are created. Staff notes that while the applicant has reduced impacts through setbacks and has added screening, the proposal conflicts with the ordinance intent that ADUs remain clearly secondary in appearance and function. The maximum size allowed is 992.6 square feet, while the proposal totals 1,874 square feet. Even when considering alternative calculations that reduce the counted garage area, the code requires the total floor area to be taken into consideration. Therefore, the structure exceeds the allowable size. For example, in this circumstance, city staff applied only the ADU area, and in this circumstance here, shown in pink, city staff removed the allowable 24 by 24 garage space. However, in this circumstance, and in the full gross area, the structure exceeds the allowable square footage. Additionally, the ADU would be about 66% of the principal structure's floor area, exceeding the 35% limit. At this scale, it reads more like a secondary primary dwelling than an accessory use. Despite the efforts to mitigate impacts, the proposal does not meet the CUP criteria because its size and scale are inconsistent with the ordinance intent for a subordinary accessory structure, or ADU. Therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission recommend the City Council adopt the resolution denying the conditional use permit with the rear yard setback variance for the construction of a garage with a second-story accessory dwelling unit. A motion to deny the variance application will require 5 affirmative votes from planning commissioners. If you would like to comment on this project, please use the public comment button on the Madson residents webpage at minnetonkaMatters.com. All written comments submitted will be provided to the Planning Commission and City Council before their meetings. The Planning Commission will review this project on April 30th at 6 p.m. and the City Council will review the project on May 18th. Again, thank you for viewing this presentation.